Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Benjamin Breaker Novotny, and with 10 out of 11 players ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and get us set up and ready to go for today's match. We've got about 50 seconds until we hop into the game, so let me go ahead and get the in-game volume restored. So, stopping to think about this match for a minute. Edward Gaming versus the Mongolz. I believe this is the first time I've actually seen these two teams go head-to-head against each other ever before. So let me just do this, and now we are perfectly fine and dandy. With 20 seconds remaining, I think it would be a perfect time to go ahead and remind you all that we have a raffle for an M4A4 Battlestar giveaway. And today, we've only been able to get our streaming PC set up for about 24 hours at this moment in time, so I thought I'd go ahead and give you all a heads up that things are going to be done a little bit differently production-wise today. For example, I don't have my condenser microphone that I had back when I was in Taipei. I'm actually back in America right now, casting this at a very early time in the morning, but it's alright because this is what I was born to do. And they're off with the knife round. You know, the Mongolz, really the key important feature to mention here is that Machine Gun is not in this game. And with that being said, he can be a very pivotal part of the team. And certainly one of the highest impacting players on a map. But at the same time, I mean, let's not overlook Togu or Element or any of the other remaining 4 players that are on the roster. I'm not entirely sure what the issue is at hand with Machine Gun, why he isn't playing today, but this essentially means that he has been absent now for about a week, more or less. I'm relatively new to watching the Edward Gaming roster playing. I think I've only seen them play once before previously, and I think that was the China qualifier for the PGL minor, and that was such a long time ago. That was way back in May, so I mean, you know, it is what it is. But the setup that we have coming right now from both sides, 4 Kevlars. We'll be seeing Zilkenberg taking a P250 in there, and he does quite a bit of damage to Surge in Sniper's Nest. We've got a couple of, well, we've only got really one utility left, and that's on Connie. Connie, I think, bought 2 flashbangs and potentially a USP, but, excuse me, not a USP, but the P2K that we see Zilkenberg using right now, because you can't afford a Kevlar vest and a P250 at the same time. So essentially process of elimination, deductive logic. But checking this out right now, it's pretty quiet up mid for the moment, especially now that we see Surge just, you know, more or less giving up that ground to the terrorist side, but they're going to have to play with little information that they have right now, and that's going to be standard. 1 mid, 2A, and 2B. Here we are. All the Mongols just pouring in there. The fury of Genghis Khan flowing through their veins, and that's going to be 17 Meister getting the opening frag, but Dobu comes in along with Togu, and they clear out bomb site B. Almost a missed reload there from Dobu, but he does actually get the refrag on a Pohant after he takes down Connie. 3 versus 2 now. Surge comes back in, and this is where the CTs have to show up if they want to take this pistol round. Now it's going to be Surge getting another 3 HP, gets 2 kills. 1 versus 2 now, and oh my god, Surge with a triple kill on 3 HP. Very nicely done, and we give a golf clap to Edward Gaming for taking the pistol round. And now, I wonder if, is HKE going to do this? Is 1KE going to do this? I don't know, it's just one of those things that, if I was soloing, and that was me with 3 HP on the defuse, I'd probably be looking at this guy and thinking to myself, what on earth is this guy doing? You know? But at this peculiar moment in time, it would appear that the Mongolz, well, wait a minute. Zilkenberg's got an AK. It looks like that was a teammate drop, most likely coming from Togu? Or Dobu, one or the other, dropping the AK for him. Element's got one as well. Okay, so it was like a double AK drop for their teammates, and now, I mean, this could actually catch Edward Gaming way off guard. We're talking about 2 MP9s, 2 UMPs, and a single M4, and Togu is going to be taking down, well, rather, Togu is going to be taken down by 1KE. Checking things out for the time being. I don't know about this. Oh, Zuckerberg. That was, yeah. Now Element's gone, and basically their play into this round, the tickets into the bomb site have just been snatched from their hands, and now we're gonna be seeing Kani going in through Palace, and I mean essentially it's not gonna help them to stay alive this round. That is to say, Dobu and Kani, they don't have weapons that are worth salvaging right now. But it's just I say that Dobu does actually get an AK, so I mean. It's hard to weigh the shoulder devil, shoulder angel here, but we are gonna see Kani getting a refrag with an MP9. WJW is gonna be shutting down Dobu with that AK, and Pohan's gonna avenge his teammate with the assistance of 1KE. Bit of a clever play coming out, but I mean at the same time it just didn't come together for the Mongols, and at the same time. If I recall the frags correctly on that previous round, they only got one, which is, I mean, you know, it's nice to keep your enemy's economy from growing, but it isn't of massive benefit to the Mongols. Zuckerberg's now going to be leading the charge, and it looks like it's going to be 5-man Glock charge. Oh my god, and it looks like Seven Meister and WJW are just lighting up this area. With only Glocks, it's going to be very difficult to take down 17 Meister, but Surge will come in for the assistance and get the cleanup. And Edward Gaming, once again, they take this round to the bank. What's even, I mean, a little bit more insult to injury here for the Mongols, unfortunately, is that we saw Edward Gaming able to snatch both of those AK-47s, and that's pretty big because, of course, obviously, the AK-47, probably, you know, the biggest killing rifle in the game. What I mean to say is that a majority of frags in Counter-Strike Global Offensive come from the AK-47, and to get your hands on one of those before the third round even begins, it's on CT side it can be quite devastating, especially, and it becomes more difficult when you've only got Glocks and no armor. But that's gonna be WJW scoring a double kill. Nice opening to this round, but it's gonna be Surge looking underground, getting his own double kill. But Kani manages to snag a refrag and all of this, and it's gonna be just Togu against the world. But Togu, he does take one down. Does stint the growth of CT economy, but $10,000. I mean, $10,000 by 5 rounds in, it can definitely stunt your team's morale. Quasi-buy coming in now for the Mongols, and next round should be a full buy. They should be at max loss bonus after this round, but the question is, can they or can they not get that plant down? That's a very important question to ask themselves right now. 3 AKs now on Edward Gaming, and 2 M4s to go with it. So what I find interesting is that we don't see anyone going with AWP. I mean, they've got more than enough money for it. They had more than enough money for it. And now the entry utility is being tossed in with that haystack, and maybe in just a short moment we'll see everyone dogpile in. There's only 2 flashbangs on the terrorist roster, so I mean, really, they gotta make it count. 1KE gets blinded, then he does actually make a frag happen in there. Pohan's gonna get a double, looking for that triple, but it's gonna be Surge stealing that prospect from him. 5 rounds for Edward Gaming, and the Mongols at 0, but this is their second rifle buy round. Maybe they can make it count. Zuckerberg does have that AWP in hand. And something feels a little bit uncharacteristic of the style that we're used to seeing the Mongols play. I like to describe their style of play on terrorist side, especially on Mirage, as loud and proud. What I mean to say is they'll often go pre-firing corners and just making all kinds of noise. And it looks like Zuckerberg may have just missed a prospective shot onto 17 Meister at that location. Misses the flick. Didn't fire even a single shot there. But he is, the question is he trying to sell a fake to bomb site B? Because right now Surge got it. 4 versus 5 is going to make things a little bit more difficult here. I do apologize for missing that. Counter push, Edward Gaming may try to throw at them via mid, but no one's going at that direction. If you just check the positioning of Dobu there, he's ready to intercept whoever will go his way, but oh man. I mean, if I read that right, yeah, Surge got it. Surge got it. 4 versus 5 is going to make things a little bit more difficult here. I do apologize for missing that. But after Zuckerberg goes down, it would appear that Mongolz are reevaluating their decision making for this. Tried to make it look like a B, but now they're redirecting towards mid, and they're going in connector. Let's check this out on Element TV. 30 seconds remain. If they're going to make that plant, or if they want to even attempt that plant, they're going to have to make it very, very soon. You just heard the noise. That is to say, Polhant did, and oh, blind shots. He didn't realize that he was actually hitting him right there, and now that's a Pohant who's blind, who's not going to be pushing forward. He's in jungle. Very heated position to be in, and a little bit hesitant, but it's now 4 versus 3. Manpower advantage is there for the retake if you're on the CT side. Sogu brings it back to 3-3. He's done it to 3-2. Looking for that third. Oh my god, the triple, and Sogu has shown up on this round. He's gonna make the quad. Are you kidding me? Oh man. No, the ace. I'm sorry. God, what is wrong with me? That's one of the things about the Mongolz roster. Typically, if you want to talk about who's at the top of the food chain, we usually have Machine Gun there, but he's not on the team roster at the moment. Zuckerberg, I'd say, we typically don't see him at the top of the frags, but Sogu is definitely one of the, I guess you'd say, the second in commands on the team. Each one of those players is a finger on a fist that is ready to jab anything or crush anything that comes at them. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out, I'm actually doing manual observing right now. I'm not too fond of the auto director. And right now what we can see is there's a very, I'd say, strong push for mid. And right now what we have coming from the Mongolz is that they're poking around. It looks like it's a little bit more B-oriented since, obviously we don't have anyone outside of, or anyone, I mean, like, if we look at Sogo's position right there, yeah, he can hold his own. That's why he's there. And if he can find an opening, that's great. That's more power to him. But at the same time, I'd say that it's more of a poke or a play for B than it would have been A. But as I say that, he's getting into the site. He's making noise. And Pohad should be able to hear that, giving his position away to 1KE. He's like, watch A main. And now the rotate's coming in. I think they were selling, I wouldn't say selling a fake, but they were definitely making a lot of noise there. That's Zilkenberg getting the first frag where you least expect it. And that's going to be Connie coming in to avenge a fallen Zilkenberg. Meanwhile, Surge shows up at CT. It looks like we're going to be having WJW going into Sniper's Nest. Surge gets one. He backs off. He's looking for Element, and he will find him on the reload. Oh my god. But Dobu, 1 versus 1. His position is revealed right now. Oh no. Oh no. Dobu doesn't know, does he? Oh. Clever. I like this. He knows. Oh! I was wondering if it was necessary to make that noise, but it's really a battle of the minds when you're at 1 versus 1. So what happened there was Dobu, essentially, he went running through Sniper's Nest, he jumped out into mid, and then he kind of went back towards connector. I'd say that perhaps the only error he really made there was the fact that he didn't do it walking. I probably would have shown as much restraint as possible in that position, but I'm not. You know what? I'll just shut up because I'm not even global elite. I shouldn't even be talking right now. Not about that, but perhaps we could speculate that it perhaps was not the right decision to make. Alright, so checking things out here. Mongolz, well, opening frag of the round. Nicely done by Kani, but he gets caught by a Surge who's looking for a flank. Surge almost overextends a little bit, almost got caught by Zilkenberg, but now he's heard going back underground. And looks like he's trying to sell, I don't know what this is. Like, what's the decision making? It doesn't look like there's anything clear coming out from the Mongol side of things just yet. Togu, just back towards bomb site A. It looks like he may want to reunite with his teammates now if you check out the minimap. And with that being said, now we're going to be having Dobu walking, or just lurking around mid. Pohand looking for that angle where he might be able to catch someone going on to be short, but wait, what's going on here? What you up there? What you up to there, Zuckerberg? What you doing, huh? He's looking for that. You know that. He says, a little bit more to the left, a little bit more to the left. God. This is... Hey, you know, it's crazy how close they were to actually peeking each other. Just a little bit. But, and now it looks like they are going to be making that move towards bomb site B. And Surge actually shuts that down just a little bit. Slows it down. It's back to 3 versus 4 now. He's got to make that push happen. And that's going to be Pohand. I mean, like, both of those players took a lot of damage. It could be still doable. It is, in fact, now back to 3 versus 1. It was at 1.4 versus 3. Or, sorry, 2 versus 1 after a trade came in. But last man standing is going to be Surge, and it looks like he's at least going to do a little bit of poking around here. Might want to reconsider now. Oh, boy. A little bit of a misturn there. And, well... Zuckerberg as well as Elements both playing Papa Terrorist, and it just turns out that Surge, he couldn't get the... He just couldn't do it. He says, I'll stick to Counter-Strike, not Papa Terrorist. Alright. But this is a very critical round coming in for Edward Gaming. This could potentially shut down the momentum that they gained economically off the back of those first 4 rounds, where we saw 1KE and Pohand superseding 10,000 US dollars in their banks. So with that in mind, I'd say that this is a very respectable comeback coming in for our Mongolian monsters. Alright, so thinking about this right now, if we check out what's on the minimap, sorry about that, I got a little bit distracted, some business I had to take care of. Right, so checking things out on the minimap, I mean, Zuckerberg making that opening frag is quite big onto bombsite A, and with the follow-up that is coming in now, we are going to be having 1K, well, I mean, WJW is taken down as well. There's a... Ooh, Surge getting a nice double kill there. Was that? No. Whoa, triple here. Is he going to hold down the Alamo? Is it 1.5 versus 2? He brings it back to 2 versus 2. 12 HP remaining, and now we're going to be seeing him going... Oh, denied the quad kill, but now it's going to be Meister versus Zuckerberg. They know each other's locations, and, I mean, this is just textbook cat and mouse. This is the position that Meister was forced to play into. He did try and tap on it, make a fake defuse happen, but now it looks like Edward Gaming is going to go to the low cash zone, and that is just going to leave them with at most a quasi buy. So I mean, you know, I don't want to underestimate these guys on a pistol round, so maybe we will see them getting away with some sneaky tactics, because typically a pistol round is not always just a pistol round, because what you can see happening is sometimes you'll see teams doing some, actually you'd say shoddy aggressive plays, like a little bit like what we have coming in from Pohand. I mean, he's basically trying to get into a location where a P250 can be used optimally if it scores a headshot. Which is why he's there right now. I'm not trying to sound like, you know, oh, this is common sense and blah, 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 blah. I'm just trying to say, like, and this is 17 Meister trying to exploit his position in the game. Unfortunately, we see Element shut that down. Zuckerberg does take 1 KE out of this quite nicely, and looks like Pohand was caught on that corner in A main. So essentially, this is just Mongolz never being too careful. However, Surge does take 1 down for his time, and that's going to be about 1 frag per player this round on the Mongol side of things. I wouldn't say a round that they took to the bank. Of course, we did see Togu go down. He was taken out, so rebuy has to be made for him. But I also want to highlight that the economic differences here are not quite so high between Mongolz and Edward Gaming right now. I'd say that Edward Gaming, if they could I think if they won this round without allowing the Mongols to get a bomb plant, then they would actually be in a very fantastic position. Of course, that would mean that the Mongols still have enough money for another full buy, but the question is, what about the following round? I think they would be stuck on a quasi-buy if they could get the bomb plant. But enough about that. They are diving in, the terrorists are, and that's going to be 1-for-1 in the exchange. Dobu, however, brings it back to 4 versus 3, and now you can see that Pohan, 1KE, and Surge are all on the rotate. Gonna be seeing Surge in Marketplace. He's definitely not feeling comfortable there at all. All 3 coming in from Marketplace is probably not a great idea. At most, I think what's gonna happen here is they're probably gonna try and get some kind of exit frags, but they would be lucky to get 1 or 2, I feel. But as I say that, we see Togu go down. Retake might have been possible, but none of them have a kit, so I mean, would it have been possible if they could have been on site at bomb plant? Possibly, but I wouldn't, you know, come on. We gotta be real there. Alright, so Zuckerberg, this just makes it a little bit more nasty for Edward Gaming to deal with. Only player remaining with a weapon in hand that he previously had would be Surge, and that's about it. And checking things out kills-wise right now, I can't believe I'm just now getting to this. He's been carrying his weight quite nicely. I think it will be very interesting to see what map number 2 looks like between the Mongolz and Edward Gaming, but already, before the first half is even concluded, we see that Surge is at 19 frags. We're talking about, I think that's about a 1.2 KDR, 1.2 frags per round if you average it out. So, sorry about that. Zuckerberg making the opening frag. Maybe it could be partly decision making. I mean, once you see him and compare him to the rest of his team, he's got an M4 in hand, and you know, no one else on his team does. So it, you know, could be partly decision making. Trying not to get Zuckerberg taken down, just playing it out wisely, smoothly, whatever in betweenly, and enough about that. We are gonna check things out here. I mean, the Mongols are having, I would say, a difficult time committing, but they're just trying to take this as cautiously as possible. Excuse me. 1KE has a very nice position here, and he does find one. Does abuse that P250 quite nicely, and nearly gets a second for his time. Makes himself a very cost-effective trade. Of course, low investment, high reward in the essence that he's going to force Connie to spend at least 2,700 more. WJW is now coming in, and he's looking for something, but he's the last man standing. Surge was taken down with his M4 in hands, and he did manage to make a trade, but still a pretty difficult situation to be in once you realize that you essentially won't have a rifle going into the next round. I'm trying to think. Okay. Is this 3-4 wins in a row coming in for Edward Gaming is a very good question to ask. I'm sorry, 3-4 wins in a row coming in for the Mongols is a good question to ask. But WJW, he's just going to steer clear of any danger in this one. And he even gets an AK-47 to salvage first time. Check that out. 20 frags and 7 on WJW. I mean, maybe maybe in some ways you could say this is perhaps Surge's favorite map. Or not necessarily favorite, but perhaps one that he's better at than the rest of his teammates. So, set up now. Looks like we're going to have some kind of action up mid here, and that is a very big CT play there, but comes down to 1-for-1, and Sogu is going to get away with a second. Looking for that third, but he's going to be dealing with the 8 Opera, and he does get that triple kill, while now trying to just get out of there with his dear life. He does, with about 41 HP, gets behind boxes now, and we'll be seeing Meister and 1KE left on their lonesome. Excuse me, I needed to sip some Monster Energy, and it's very nice to have after being denied it for about 27 months of my life. But 1KE. He's waiting for that execution onto bomb site A. And that's going to be 17 Meister getting one while he's on the rotate, bringing it back to 2 versus 2. But as I say that, in the blink of an eye, Zuckenberg and Element take down their targets and end this round. Penultimate round of the first half. Fairly important one to consider if you are Edward Gaming right now. You're thinking to yourselves, okay, if we don't win this one, we're going to be in not so fantastic position for the last round of the first half. If they lose this one, they could potentially, I'd say Mongolz would have a much stronger chance of winning the last round of the first half, potentially getting to, you know, an end score of 9-6 by the end of the first half. This is looking like B default coming in from Mongolz. I think this is the second round in a row where I've seen them, you know, kind of, this is the second round in a row where I've noticed them pulling this kind of setup. But Zuckenberg does not miss that flick this time, and now it looks like they're going to play off of that frag on a bomb site A. WJW going to be rotating backwards. He's looking for something to hit with that. Kani down to 32 HP. He's rotating on the bomb site. But he's here for the CT side, and looks like this is not the same B default we saw the previous round coming in from Mongolz. I think what they're doing is they're poking around looking for that information before they make an execute. Apologies, I thought I lost control of my XSplit for a minute there. Okay, everything looks about normal. I do apologize for out-tabbing and giving you guys such an ugly thing to see. I just needed to make sure that everything was all right with XSplit. So, 3 Falmuses, an M4, and a UMP, but there are some utilities here for the CT side, and looks like this is not the same B default we saw the previous round coming in from Mongolz. I think what they're doing is they're poking around looking for that information before they make an execute. I can definitely respect 17 Meister for going for the UMP, but unfortunately that kill benefit will not, I'm sorry, the kill bonus will not provide for him any benefit going into the pistol round of the second half, excuse me. So with that in mind, if Mongolz are able to get this one on the board, it's essentially more power to them. If Edward Gaming are not able to get that pistol round, they could be in a bit of trouble. Most certainly, but, well, that's Surge making the opening frag. He's going to rotate off of where? Can't believe I missed that. Well, most of the action, or rather decision-making, was oriented towards bomb site B, so I missed what happened there. However, it looks like we're going to find Zuckenberg rotating backwards. WJW should have heard that, so we're still waiting for the decision or the shot to be called for them to rotate into bomb site A. It's not happening just yet. It only now happens, actually. Element gets an opening frag there. It's going to be Connie getting a follow-up, and now it's back to 4 versus 3. 3 versus 2 now as we see Pohant and Dobu make their trades. And bomb is being planted. It's down. WJW and 17 Meister are going to be encroaching from jungle, excuse me, connector and CT spawn respectively. It's 2 versus 2 now, and if they can make those trades, it'll be a miracle. But, well, 17 Meister all on his lonesome, and that is an angle that essentially Zuckenberg can't hit. 17 Meister closes it out, seals the deal for his team, and that's going to be Edward Gaming going into 7 rounds after the first half. And Connie's going to say, good half, and it felt like, you know, honestly, maybe 5-6 rounds in a row we saw Edward Gaming just getting pummeled. But I mean, it was essentially the same thing right off the bat coming in from Mongolz after the pistol round. So I guess you'd say a nice little snapback coming in from Edward Gaming. Just want to check something out real quick. All right, everything looks just fine thus far. I'd like to say hello to all 4,000 of you, and it would be a very good time for us to go ahead and announce the the giveaway that we have for an M4A4 Battlestar. It's field tested. If you guys would like to enter the giveaway, just click on the skin, the picture of the skin below this stream window, or type !raffle in chat. My name is Benjamin Breaker Novotny, and thank you for tuning in for today's show. 4 Kevlar vests coming out from both sides. There's a kit on Connie. No pistol purchases from either side. It's going to be WGW as the utility man, and Connie's going to have 2 flashbangs in the kit. Oh my god. Wait, what is this? Well, I mean, it's 4-3 now, and Mongols have the man advantage. But what's important is the bomb has not been planted, and we see Edward Gaming suffering from that man disadvantage that they have. Bomb's going to be planted amazingly at 4 versus 3. It was initially a no, I'm sorry, it wasn't initially a fake. It was real all the way across the board because pros don't fake, right? Well, here comes the retake. Element manages to get 1, goes back to the reload, and he gets the second after we see 1KE taking down his teammate. It's now all on Pohant to prevent that defuse. 1 versus 3. He's got to make the impossible happen. There he goes. He gets 1. He's looking for the second. And he's dancing the dance of death with his enemy, but it's going to be Connie catching him on the reload. And that'll be the first round of the second half, going to the Mongolian Masters. I'd like to be louder than I usually am, but unfortunately, there's a couple of problems with that. 1, got a new microphone today. It's not that great. And 2, I'm living with my family right now as I'm visiting them. Excuse me. Okay, so checking things out here from the CT side of the affair, or rather the terrorist side of the affair. We're going to be seeing, looks like a unanimous B rush potentially, but I think what they're doing now is they are lurking back and waiting for the Mongols to get a little bit over aggressive. I think there's always that one player on. I mean, we've all made this mistake before. We're all guilty of this. What I mean to say is, when we're on CT side, there's always that one guy who likes to buy the Bison and rushes the terrorist side once we win the pistol round, right? Well, Meister's gonna be punished at this point, and Sogu, he's got the MP7 in hand. He's on the reload. Connie's gonna be getting 1 with his MP9, and now it's Pohant all alone on bomb site A, shut down by Element. And now that I think about it, okay, so they only bought upgraded pistols. This round should be an AK round. Yep, there we go. Coming in from Edward Gaming. Kill discrepancy on Mongol's side is not that massive. We can see that, you know, top fragger has 16 frags, while the bottom fragger has 11. However, from Edward Gaming, 21 is the top from Surge, and 7 bottom from Mongolz. I'm sorry, bottom from EDG. Excuse me. I'm surprised there haven't been any tactical timeouts called by either side. I mean, both sides have them. Why not use them? I'm not sure what the regulations are regarding tactical timeouts. It could potentially be one per best of 3 or 1 per map. But, you know, it is what it is, and we'll see where things go here in the near future. It's going to be Togu making the opening frag, and WJW will be on the other end of that crosshair. However, 17 Meister does manage to make a refrag happen. Tobu is going to be holding his ground and rotating onto the bomb site. He's in a very heated position right now. Surge and 17 Meister make their frag, so it looks like the reinforcements won't be coming for Dobu. He's all on his lonesome. He's going to get a double kill. Amazing given what he's got, and he makes the triple with a little bit of aid from his teammate, Connie. That was, I mean, just the positioning there looked very, I don't know how to say it. I mean, like, Dobu, I felt like at one point he was going to be, you know, just surrounded and crouched and pushed out of the round, but it just didn't happen. Now, Edward Gaming, after their first rifle buy round, are in a very difficult position. Mongols have, you know, not only they got the weapon advantage, the economy is going for them. Zuckerberg's going to get away with a double kill. He's not going to get that trip just yet. That's going to be Dobu instead denying that from him. And now we're going to be having Surge as well as 17 Meister just remaining at mid, if I'm looking at this correctly. Sogu may want to just fall out of there now that he's 13 HP, but it's all on 17 Meister. And, you know, he's going to go down, but what I wanted to say there before Zilkenberg took him out, before Zilkenberg interrupted me, was how many people can he take down with him? And unfortunately, he didn't get a single one to his name. So this is, again, another one of those rounds that Mongolz takes to the bank. And what's very difficult about this is that they only need 4 more rounds to win this. And Edward Gaming, they need 9. So they are running out of that wiggle room to work with. Looking like an A execute coming in from Edward Gaming. As you can plainly see, we do have the execution utilities being tossed in right now. We're going to be seeing, it looks like, Dobu in front of jungle. However, Element is on CT. And looks like now we're going to be having Sogu rotating back into jungle, especially now after he's on the reload. Blind it once again, but there's a smoke on jungle. Dobu nonetheless will get the opening frag of the round. 17 Meister down to 19 HP, and he's struggling to get that bomb plant down. The 2 CTs on CT spawn, and that's 4 versus 4 at this present moment in time. Looks like Kani's found a new spot to shoot through that I haven't seen before. He's unfortunately entering the bomb site and taken down. It's now all on Zilkenberg. 1 versus 3. All of the targets are very low HP, so if he can just spread, how do I say this, just stay calm and aim, he might be okay. He's pre-firing every corner. He should probably tap that bomb, just to fake it. Oh no, oh no. Well, at the same time, Edward Gaming do put another round on the board for themselves, so it's very nicely done. They've managed to, at some point, stop the bleeding. But the question is, can they get another round like this? Because if they can, that's where Mongolz starts to lose their money, and Edward Gaming have a solid shot at least putting 2 more rounds on the board before Mongolz reach a full buy round. Okay. Analyzing this little, I guess you could say this default, if that's what you want to call it, coming in from Edward Gaming, it was basically just to check and, you know, I mean, obviously the positioning there coming in from Pohant and 17 Meister, yeah, they were a little bit edged up onto bomb site A through Palace and A main, if you will. But what I mean to say in that regards is they were just trying to catch anyone who may have gotten over aggressive and they couldn't get anything for their time. This is more or less a commitment for bomb site B, but I think what's going to happen here is Pohant may try to sell a fake. Instead, Zilkenberg, he knows it's live now. He's found one. He gets shut down by WJW. That's going to be now Pohant and 17 Meister coming in. Sogu manages to get a refrag. It's now 3 versus 2 in favor of the Mongolian counter-terrorists. However, we do see WJW taking down Element. 1 versus 2 is now the name of the game. 17 HP remains on WJW, and he's taken down and out. Very important round to Edward Gaming, and with that being said, I think Mongolz could potentially make it to match point before we see Edward Gaming with another rifle buy round. And right now it seems like there's a little bit of hesitation on what to buy. Just upgraded pistol and a utility here and there. I mean, 1 KE is the only one without a purchase, and it looks like it's just going to be a plain straight up A rush. The positioning, however, it may just work to their advantage, but they have to get at least 2 of those guys taken down on the counter-terrorist side, and it's just not happening right now. They aren't able to really capitalize on that. 17 Meister does take 1 down. However, he's now caught the attention of Zilkenberg, and that is going to be Zilkenberg walling him, taking him down and out. And although very quick, I'd say somewhat coordinated coming in from Edward Gaming, they weren't able to take that round. weren't even able to get a bomb plant. But like I said, I mean, I know in some ways I may be eating my words, but I forgot that a lot of teams would actually try and make a force buy on the 14th. I'm sorry, 2 rounds before 16. When many teams get to 14 points, the enemy team will make a force buy to avoid overtime. Sorry. So erroneous call by me. If they wanted to make a full buy, they could have potentially waited till match point for Mongolz, and then they would have all been able to afford AK-47s with full utilities, armor, everything else in between. So I apologize for that erroneous call. Not sure what to call this coming in from Edward Gaming, as they've got 2 players pushing towards B, at least, you know, lurking there a little bit. The bomb is on 1KE, who is actually with WJW right outside of B apartments. But a majority of their players are stacked onto A main, and I'm not sure what to call this other than potentially a fake sale to bomb site A. I mean, Surge, 17 Meister, and looks like they are rotating backwards, but Pohant's going to be sticking at Palace for the time being. Smoke is being tossed in, and a decoy as well. They're trying to sell this as a fake, but I don't think we actually see the counter-terrorists buying into it. Not entirely, but I mean, if we look at the minimap, it kind of tells a little bit of a different story. Oh, Zuckerberg, he's ready for anyone to come at him through apartments, but that's going to be into bomb site A. However, Connie's there to catch the rotate, catches 2 with a spray. Very nicely done. And now it looks like he's going to be denied that 3rd, and now we're going to be seeing Element getting the revenge on him. Last man standing, Surge, and he's taken down by Zilk. I really wish we had a dedicated observer. You know, I mean, having Rush or Sapphire do the observing for us would be amazing, but we just don't have that kind of resources right now. And this is looking like match point now coming in from Mongolz. 3 SMGs, a deagle, full armor from everyone except Surge, who has an AK-47 and a decoy. Well, they're doing their best. That's the important part. Frag tossed up mid. Zilk's going to find the opening frag of the round. Looking for that second. Will indeed get the refrag after 17 Meister takes down his teammate. Box walling right now. Doing much the same for whatever may be down there. And that's going to be Togu taking down Pohant. Now it's 2 versus 3. Firepower advantage in the hands of the CTs now that 1KE is gone, as WJW will be the last man standing with a UMP in hand. Zuckerberg just, he's ready to hunt. He's ready to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be map number 1 between Mongolz and Edward Gaming concluded. We'd like to congratulate Mongolz for taking map number 1. We will be back after a short break with map number 2. And this would probably be a very good time to let you all know that we do have an M4A4 Battlestar giveaway. If you guys would like to enter that giveaway, just type !raffle in chat, or click on the picture of the skin below this stream window. You'll be taken to a gleam.io giveaway where you guys have up to 10 different methods to enter that giveaway. With that being said, we are now going to again go to a short break before we tune into our second map, which is going to be Cache. Don't go away.